Hey there, Kaleidoscope Klan. How's everyone doing? So I'm going live again. I'm getting used to this. And somehow I looked at the last video. It cut off after 30 minutes, but when you look at it, it only shows 7 minutes. So I imagine it might be because what I was talking about, which is what I was a little concerned about. But anyway, along the same lines, because I think that I can have the same conversation without talking about the particular players where they'll actually allow me to say it. I want to talk about my journey and how decentering men from my life and exercising celibacy for a number of years has really helped to allow myself to do the necessary healing. Um, Women are just born into roles that society gives us. And usually it doesn't give us permission to focus on ourselves and putting ourselves first. I was the oldest of 5 children. And so I was basically trained for a role of taking care of others and always looking to see how I can best serve the collective. So basically what I'm saying is I was traumatized. I was codependent. I was raised in a very narcissistic family. And so my job was to keep the balance and to help hold it all together as a child. And so because of that, I looked at that reality and then also thought that I would carry over to then take care of a husband and family in the same way. And I never really was not distracted, right? The American lifestyle keeps you distracted. And then also if you have a relationship, if you have the mindset like what I had, you're putting all of your energy into someone else, never really looking inside and making yourself like what you base your decisions off of, right? You look or you you defer if you're a people pleaser, right? So it wasn't until the complete destruction and obliteration of my very toxic family, my ex-husband and my ex-husband threw our family away and then just took the children and kept me out of the equation as far as throwing me away. So that, and also within my own family, the toxic patterns that existed in that, it really forced me to isolate myself, right? And then I also had more traumatic experiences with men when I did venture to, because naturally as a woman, it's natural for me to desire a partner, it's just a natural thing for me. So I had to like discipline it to cut it off, to be able to look within to see why I was such filth and trash in my life. And I realized that it's because that reality was normalized in my mindset. The wider culture is trash. And I knew that. I thought I was a smart child. I thought I was very smart. But the thing is that there's a difference between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. So my conscious mind is very intelligent. But I had no real understanding of the ways that I had been hypnotized and under mind control in very serious ways. Even though I studied psychology, right? I have a bachelor's in psychology with sociology. So I've studied dynamics, social dynamics, and also psychological dynamics. My whole life, it's always been extremely interesting to me. And I guess it's because on a deep level, I knew that in order to heal myself, I would have to try to work all of this out, right? A lot of us grow up in these kinds of situations, and then we go on to be in toxic relationships with the people that we choose because we didn't understand how unhealthy the family energy was, right? So when I was forced to isolate myself, to heal myself, and I was blessed to actually be in a totally different location because I live in another country, where I could truly isolate from all of the distraction, all of the cultural pressures, and all of the nastiness, where, I spent a lot of time just surviving. And that also makes you want a man in your life. For me, I always felt like I needed one for protection on a basic level also. So that is almost like, pimpy in that kind of way. It's like, it's gross. You need a man for protection. Ugh. I'm from Compton, so yeah. I don't come off as that streetwise, and so I always had streetwise men in my life because I was in the street that I shouldn't have been in. My parents should have been much more protective of me. So anyway, I'm 52 now, and I came to Mexico when I was 48. And since then, I have completely decentered men from my life. Like, it's been all about me in every way. Everything that I do has just been me. I mean, I've pretty much decentered from women too. I've just really focused on myself and also been celibate. Like, to not have that distraction is so great, to make decisions where it's clearly just what makes you happy at any given moment. Even for me, just going out to eat and it's just me and choosing what I want and just sitting and just, and getting up and doing things as I like, because like before, as a oldest child and then also as a very doting, overly focused mother, that was my thing. And so instead I was able to turn it inward and make it a loving thing, to myself, use all of that energy that a lot of us women, we put into everyone else. I deplore, is that the word? Yes. If you are a people pleaser, if you take care of other people, please take at least one day where you only deal with yourself. One day a week. That's that day of rest. Not like church day of rest, but like a real day of rest where you just do whatever you want for a day. I now have lived by myself for some time. And so, yeah, I ebb and flow. I know how to really please myself. Now, when I deal with people, with men, but anyone, I really have boundaries. I really feel when people are disturbing my joy because I'm so happy that it's very easy. I have spidey senses. And yeah, and I have my back, So it's something that I would really encourage women to explore if you've had issues in relationships. Just like, don't think about men for a little while because it's a lot and you don't have to, and you can always come back. But the thing is that it's important to take a break. It's important. A lot of women in America, we never really get that time to focus on ourselves. We're always in competition in schools and then straight into work. And so We think of being feminine as getting our nails done or getting our hair done. But no, being feminine is like not doing shit. It's really relaxing, and it's good to do feminine things too. But do you allow yourself to just not do anything? Like, is that okay too? Yeah. So actually, I'm going to do another one on a book called Rest is Resistance by Trisha Hersey. I'm going to do a different one on that, but look it up. She has a great YouTube video. I want to talk about that because that's something that women really need to look at. All people need to look at it. Just women will become more neurotic if we don't get any rest. We'll get more neurotic, but everyone needs rest. Everyone has a feminine side. These are just things that we all need to know about. So when you decenter men from your life and when you're celibate, you can really get into the details of you. That adage, know thyself. That's what we need to do, women. We need to know ourselves, not know what other people say women are supposed to be. Because let me tell you something right now. The idea of what a woman is like so off. It's not about acting sexual. That's very fun to act outwardly sexual. Like women, femininity is about modesty and energy, taking care of yourself and being full within yourself, but not pow, poo, pow. That is very fiery energy. Look at me under the spotlight, right? That's Leo. It's, it's a whole different thing. And people have it all wrong because we've over sexualized everything. Everything is over sexualized. And sexualization is stimulation. It's stimulating your nervous system. That, along with fear, those things will keep you in a state of not being able to hear your voice in your head. It will keep you in a state of mind where you're easy to control. When you're fearful and when you're sexualized, those two things, right? Especially children. It's very dangerous. Being over sexualized in society for everyone is very, very dangerous. And it takes away the idea of how much sexuality creates a beautiful intimacy between people, right? It devalues how strong one connection is when that is very powerful. It's our power to be able to connect to the other half and to become our divine selves together and elevate. That's the highest that we can be. So first, you have to elevate within yourself so that you are resonating correctly, right? And so that's what I've been doing. I've been chilling and loving myself, remembering all the things that I loved as a child and re-exploring them. So I can reawaken my natural femininity and beauty by being happy. It's like a really feminine thing to be happy, right? To smile. So we don't want to fake it for the camera. We want to be real. We want to be authentic. That's beautiful. Yeah. So I'm going to end it here. And thank you. Whoever watches this, today is my first day transmitting. I am going to be doing this regularly. I'm going to have different topics to discuss. And I just want to encourage you to consider what life would be like, to consider the possibility of decentering the opposite sex, not forever per se, see how it feels. But the point is to focus inward, you know, and to see what life is like when you're not overly stimulated by fear and by sex. That way, you can actually tap into your inner knowing and hear that inner voice. And that's what we all need to do in a time when everything on the outside will lie to you. Okay, so thank you for being here. I really appreciate you, Kaleidoscope Klan. This is Mariposa Ma'at signing out. And until next time, my next live, take care. Peace.